Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and today the Houston Texans have drafted Kyonte Hamilton, 6'4", 275, defensive tackle, in the 7th round, 224th overall pick. Before I get into it, I like this draft pick for the Texans. Guy from Rutgers, senior year last year, was really good. 36 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, 2 passes defense, 1 fumble recovery, 1 forced fumble. The thing I will say, as I find it maybe a little bit unlikely that he actually makes the 53-man roster. The reason I say this, and I hope things change this year for the Houston Texans team, for the 2 guys they drafted in the 7th round this year, a tight end and Kyonte Hamilton. But last year the Texans had 3 7th-round picks, and neither of the 3 of them made the 53-man roster, and they had 2 6th-round picks. So they had 5 last year. The Houston Texans had 5 picks in the 6th and 7th round. Only one of those guys made the 53-man roster. That was Jamal Hill, who was a 6th-round pick. Now, a couple of those 4 guys that did not make the 53-man roster did make their practice squad, but it's just showing you guys how unlikely it was last year for this Houston Texans team, with all the depth they have around their roster, to make the 53-man. I hope I am wrong with this, but look, I think that last year last year the Texans had more undrafted guys make the roster than the 6th and 7th round pick guys, because British Brooks made the roster last year. I remember all the heat I got. There was a video I made where I'm talking about, as all these alerts are coming, where I talked about, British Brooks and how unlikely it was for him to make the roster because of how much depth the Texans have at running back. And he made the roster, and I was wrong. A lot of people corrected me in the comment section because of that. So I'm not gonna doubt undrafted guys anymore, because last year the Texans had, I think, 2 guys, that British Brooks, and there was some defensive guy last year, who both made the 53-man roster. The Texans had more undrafted guys make the roster than 6th, 7th round pick guys last year. So, look, that's it's gonna be tough. But I think the Texans do have more of a need at defensive tackle this year. So I think there is a solid chance Kyonte Hamilton can make this roster. Let me know your thoughts on the draft pick for the Texans at 224 in the comment section. And peace out. Go Texans.